Hi there, my name is Megan Freed. I'm one of the lawyers at Freed Marcroft, and I'm super excited to have Will Chase with us today. Welcome, Will.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. So Will is special in many, many ways, but a few of the ways in which he's special is that Will is a realtor. He sells homes. He helps people buy homes. He also helps people get rentals, which is going to be the focus of a lot of our conversation today. But Will also worked with us at Freed Marcroft, so he is really, really familiar with what our clients need and how the divorce process and family law issues impact their housing needs. And so Will has graciously offered to be with us today to talk about something pretty unique that's going on right now. And that's essentially that the courts are available to help us with emergency situations. So things like, it's not safe for me to be home anymore. But the courts aren't as available for urgent situations. For example, it's not a good situation. It's safe, but it's not a good situation for me to stay living in the home with my spouse right now. And normally, and Will knows this really intimately, normally that would be a time where you might go stay with your mother or father or your sister or a friend, another family member, or you might go to a hotel for a few nights just to get a breather and figure out your longer term plan. Right now, hotels are for first line providers, and Airbnbs have been shut down a little. People are not traveling to stay with parents and friends and family because of self-quarantine. So sort of the normal options, Will, that people used to use are off the table. And we saw this as a growing thing for some of our clients, that they needed a solution that involves a little thinking outside of the box. So we got together with Will, and we're successfully charting this sort of middle ground course where people are having Will help them find what would be a longer term rental than they would normally do, i.e. a hotel is what they would normally do, but much shorter term than what landlords would be typically looking for, i.e. a year-long lease. So Will, can you talk a little bit about the ways we can help people kind of fill this gap so that they can get out of the home and be happy and healthy and safe and gather their thoughts so that they have a little time to decide what the next move is?
Yeah, no, definitely. And thanks again for having me. So the first step would be, to reach out to me. Ultimately, that's the first step, is to really get an idea of what their goals are, what they're going through, and see how I can help. Everyone's situation is different, so I want to make sure that I'm catering my service to them and what their needs are. So that could be as simple as a phone call, a text. I do have a business account, which you'll see on Instagram. They could, DM me. Just making that connection first, so I know you're there, and I can get a better sense of what you need. And after that, we can start looking at properties, at options. I have resources all throughout the state in terms of landlords, building owners, and given the times that they're going through, a lot of them do have units that aren't renting, or they may have houses that aren't selling. So that's when I can think outside the box and say, hey, you're looking in the West Hartford area. I have a seller that unfortunately hasn't been getting any bites on their property, but it's fully furnished. Let's see if we can do a month-to-month rental with an option to renew. So if they don't sell the house and you'd like to stay, you have that option. So it's really, yeah.
Yeah, Will, that's you made two really important points there. Thanks so much. Because what we're seeing a lot of times, what you would get if you went to your mom's or went to the Hilton or the Marriott is furnished, right? So we're sort of seeing like the desire is to be able to get away from the home, but not pack a moving van, right? So
Exactly.
the flexibility of options, if it was something that would work for you to have something furnished, that's something that can kind of match make and put together. The
Exactly.
other thing is pets. That a lot of people, pets are family members, and we want to make sure that we're being upfront and candid with landowners that would be open to taking a pet
Exactly.
period of time.
Yeah, no, definitely.
The
Pets are
other
good.
thing, the
Yeah,
other thing you said was about communication. You mentioned texting and you mentioned DMing on Instagram. That's a huge deal. One of the things that people are experiencing right now is we're in this odd pressure cooker of being home together. So that's particularly challenging in a relationship that's not surviving, not
yeah,
doing well, right? So but it's also difficult to get privacy. So normally when people would call Freed Marcroft, they might call on an errand in their car, from work, right? All those normal
exactly.
places. That stuff's just not happening right
Yep. Yeah, no, you're right. And with the Instagram and Facebook, I mean, it's easy as, you're literally on your phone. You could reach out, shoot a quick message, just say, hey, do you have time tomorrow at 2 to talk? And I'll know exactly what it's about. You can just even say, searching for a home, as simple as that, Freed Marcroft or FM.
now. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Well, and here's the other thing, like one of the reasons that what you do is also so important is that it's not just that initial call that's tricky to have. It's a, a person in this situation, I mean, not only do they not have all the contacts that you have on who's selling a home that might not be moving, a landlord that might be more flexible on not doing a year-long lease given the current situation, et cetera. But also you have the ability to get on the phone with these folks
exactly.
on your client's behalf so that
Exactly.
they're, again, there's just not a lot of privacy. So,
Yeah.
and I know one thing that we were talking about before we went live also is this, the lending application, that you have a sort of general lending application that someone could fill out and get to you so that you could share that with landlords on their behalf. Can you
Yeah,
talk
no, definitely.
a bit about
Yeah.
that?
Yep. I have a rental application which you can fill out. It's standard. It's through the Greater Hartford Association of Realtors. It just provides me with the basic information I need. Obviously, if you have any pets or anything else you feel I should know, that's important because this allows me to start searching, for you. And that way I'll have the information in front of me. So when a landlord asks, I'll be able to tell them without having to backtrack, try to contact you to confirm that information. So having that beforehand would be great.
Yeah, that's really helpful. I mean, I think what we're trying to do here is figure out creative ways to do what we've always done. And Will, I'm really grateful to you. I should also mention that in addition to Will's time at Freed Marcroft, so he knows a lot about what the concerns are of people who are in the middle of the divorce process or in the very beginning stages of it. The other thing about Will is that he has been specifically in the rental real estate market for years now.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's a piece, because that's actually a little bit less common in our neck of the woods. So we really want to make sure that we can get you in a situation where you can catch your breath, have your own space, and make longer term decisions on the other side. So knowing that there's an option that's between entering a year rental and I'm going to pop over to my girlfriend's house for 4 nights, right?
Yep.
Even in this environment is really tremendous.
Exactly. And my goal is to provide value for your clients. I want to be their voice. I don't want them to be stressed out about having to talk with landlords, negotiate rents, and all of that stuff that's entailed with it. So, you have someone like me step in to really do the parts that, you shouldn't have to worry about in a situation that you're dealing with. So that's why I'm here.
Well, that's great, Will. That's really well said. It's that, frankly, you know how to do it better, right?
Yep.
And you have the flexibility to do it on someone's behalf when
Exactly.
their hands are tied a little bit on their
Yep.
ability to communicate. So both gathering their options and then moving forward on them.
Yep.
Will Chase, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Isn't Will Chase
Thanks.
one of the greatest names you ever heard? I love it.
The
My
wind
last
is
name's
away.
Reed, so I have this thing for last names that are verbs, but yours is great.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. We will please get in contact with us or with Will. We can get you a copy of that application or put you in direct contact with him so that you can text privately with Will if that's easier than a phone call. And most of all, Will, thank you for joining us. We
Thank you,
really,
Megan. Thanks for
really
having me.
appreciate it.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day and thank you.
Thanks. You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.